So this is the Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance, and it's the quickest vehicle I've ever driven. It's actually not even close, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you now by doing little golden bear, launch mode activated. Oh, shit balls! Okay. I mean, let's try to get this seatbelt to catch. It's crazy how quick this car is. We'll get to the how and the why in a second. Let's back up. What is Lucid? Lucid is an electric car maker based in California. They have cool little bear logos all over the place. Their interiors are named for different areas. This is the Tahoe interior, I believe. There's a little bear flag right there. When you activate launch mode, the bear pops up. I like that. That's cool. Lucid makes one model right now called the Air, and it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, soon to be 5 flavors. There's the Pure, which is the base. It's like $100,000. I think it makes 480 horsepower, 0 to 60 in like mid 4s or something like that. Then past the Pure, there's the Touring. Then there's the Grand Touring. Then there's the Grand Touring Performance. That's what we're in. Soon, there's also going to be the Sapphire, which I've witnessed it firsthand. I didn't get to drive it, but I saw how quick it went. I will plug my show on Motor Trend right now. Head-to-head drag race, first episode just went live as today, where we did Lucid versus Porsche, blah, blah, blah. Just go watch it, Motor Trend on demand. Back to YouTube's. So the Sapphire they haven't delivered that yet. It's coming later this summer, I believe. So for now, this is the king. This is the top of the hill. When they first launched, they had a model called the Dream, which was limited edition, like first hand waivers, and that one was crazy powerful too. This one, I believe, makes more than that though. This is a triple motor. This has, I gotta look up the battery. I forget the actual battery size, but what I do know, and what is far more important, is the horsepower. This has 1,050 of them. It has 1,050 horsepower. I am driving a 1,050 horsepower sedan. It's just a calm car that it's not shouting, it's not being crazy, and at any moment I can just do that, and it feels like the nose wants to lift, which is absolutely wild. It's comfortable, and it has a good sound system. It has an okay sound system. It has massaging seats. It has cooled and heated and cooled seats. It has plenty of room in the back. It has a usable trunk. It's a 1,050 horsepower family car if you're well-heeled, because this one is about, I don't know, $185,000, which is just a colossal sum of money. But I also don't think they should just be doling out 1,000 horsepower cars to everybody, because it'd just be littered with wrecked vehicles all over the place. So 0 to 60 in this is like 2.5. I think the top speed of this one is probably 150 miles an hour. The version that's coming out, the Sapphire, 0 to 60, it might be too flat, or something insane. Top speed's 200 plus. That was gonna be $250,000. That one's even more insane. But back to this one's still insane too. The front brake rotors, I believe on this one, are the same size as the Porsche 911 Turbo S. I think those are 16.5-inch front brake rotors. So as big as the wheels on my Montero. Maybe bigger actually, by 1/2 inch. But it's not just, the crazy thing about Lucid, every video you see on these, it's about the insanity of the straight line stuff, and that is insane. But what nobody else is really talking about is that the person in charge of the dynamic capabilities and the fine-tuning and the engineering on these, I've met him, he's a wonderful guy, and he came from Jaguar and some other British brands, and he cares about how cars handle, so this car can take corners. I don't want to do that, there's a cyclist right there. This car can take corners exceptionally well. It handles wonderfully. It's a blast to drive on a curvy road. And So you have your straight line speed, you have your comfortable highway and around town cruising, and then when you want to get down and dirty on a back road, it's up for that challenge too, which is just insane. It's insane. I really need them to come out with an off-road SUV version so then I could truly have a do-it-all everything vehicle. Now I do believe their next vehicle is an SUV, but I don't believe it will be, you know, an adventure machine. I mean, who knows? But they also really need to come out with a more, I mean, they don't need to do anything really. They can do whatever they want, but I think, you know, you go SUV or crossover, and then you do the more affordable sedan, similar to what Tesla did. But if you have the money and you're shopping in this space, I do not know why you would buy a Tesla when this exists. Not necessarily Grand Touring Performance, you know, $180,000, but the Grand Touring non-performance is like 800 something horsepower, and then the next one down is like 600 something horsepower, and then you get down to that 480. So across the whole spectrum, from 100,000 to 180, and then soon to be 250, those are like, that's like Model S territory, and this is so much better than a Model S. It's not even funny. The interior is actually good. It seems like it's bolted together far better. There's still like quirky electric car things where basically almost everything is buttons, which is annoying, but at least, you know, volume control, fan up, down, temp, up, down. At least there are still buttons for those, but sometimes they're slow to respond because I don't think they're actually, you know, they're not real physical buttons. They're talking to the computer or whatever. God, that sounded so boomery. But, you know, that gripe aside, the rest of this, like the materials used look great. Like I said, the seat is comfortable. Just the carpeting is nice. Just so many, the display here in front of me looks like it was taken out of a Porsche Taycan. There's a nice trick where you can flip this one down here up and have storage behind it. And then if you don't want to dive too deeper into the menus to adjust a few things, there are a few shortcuts. My friend Lynn Woodward showed me one where if you press and hold one of the drive modes, it then pops up the addition to further select the different level of regen. So that's kind of neat that you don't have to dive deeper too deeply into a menu, or at all really. It's right there. So there's smooth, swift, and sprint. Every time I get in the car, I immediately just put it into sprint, which is max horsepower, max torque. Torque I think is around 920 or so. And when you put it into sprint, it's like, are you sure? It actually makes you confirm that you want to go full cuckoo bananas mode, and of course you do. You just paid $180,000. It'd be like buying a Hellcat and never using the red key. All you ever, if you buy a Hellcat, you throw the black key into the ocean. So, car's crazy, quick. I think it looks better than a Tesla. It definitely drives better than a Tesla. It is quicker than a Tesla. So if you have this much money and you were thinking about getting a Tesla, get a Lucid. What are you even doing here? I mean, there's other options anyways. Besides that, like if you're gonna get a Tesla, you should actually also get the Porsche or, you know, a few other things. Tesla still has the network, but that's slowly changing now too. You know, everybody's switching to the North American Charging Standard port, so that leveler of the playing field has leveled the playing field further. So everybody else builds better cars. Tesla has the better charging infrastructure. The better charging infrastructure is about to be open to everybody. So now buy the better cars. And if you have the money, this is one of the best ones because it's just fucking, oh my God. You can do that anytime. And it's never not fun. It has yet to get old. I make myself laugh. My wife was holding her phone up the other day looking at something and I floored it because I'm an asshole. And I did it on purpose and it hit her and I laughed. Yeah. My daughter laughed too, to be fair. We both thought it was funny. So, yeah, this car is fantastic. Okay, I have to have some gripes. I can't just droll on and on about blah, blah, blah. It's about, because it's, you know, the key is weird. There's no buttons on the key. It's like a hidden button. I still don't know exactly what it does. When you get out of the car, you don't turn it off. It just like eventually shuts off. I don't like that. I would rather just be able to shut it off. I know some other vehicles do that too. I don't like that. I want to like press and hold a power button and turn the damn thing off. That's really annoying to me. That's really it though. Like that, I just wish you could shut it off. I wish I made more money. Yeah, so my mind went blank for a second there. It's excellent. Is it perfect? Of course not. Like I said, you can feel the weight of the car under braking, even though the rotors are giant. You can definitely feel that like you're giving these brakes a workout. I can't imagine how hard the suspension is working. The effort that the tires are putting in. There's no wheel spin when you mat it from a stomp. So, I mean, these tires are just doing an amazing job. The suspension is doing an amazing job because it just feels planted and solid. And then the brakes are just working their butts off to make sure you slow down. So yeah, you can feel the weight of that. Steering feel is good. Ride comfort is great. And then, the range. This is the first electric vehicle I've ever driven where I just haven't. Every EV, you won't necessarily have range anxiety in a lot of these more modern EVs, but you're still thinking about the range. I'm not thinking about the range in this. At full charge, this thing is rated at like 440 something on a fully juiced up pack. Obviously, once you're fat footing it everywhere like I am, that changes. The range is amazing. The charging, it's like the fastest charger around too. This thing just charges lightning quick. So it goes fast, it goes far, and it charges up very quickly, and it's just expensive as hell. So for those of you lucky to buy one, good for you. This is the closest thing we have to a true teleportation device, because 1 minute I'm here, and then in a blink of an eye, I am fucking there, and I am gone. And this thing is taking me for the ride, and I like it. And now I'm blathering, so this is over. Oh my God, okay, fine. I mean, it's a merging lane. I understand how they work. I just wish the person behind me also. Sometimes when people are trying to be nice and they're not following the rules of the road, it's actually way more annoying. Does anybody else feel that way? Like if it's your turn to go, go.